Hello, I'm Jessica Amir for the Finance News Network. Joining me now from Australian Equity LIC is Monash Absolute Investment Company Executive Director and Portfolio Manager Simon Shields. Simon, welcome to FNN.
Hi Jessica, pleased to be here.
First up, for those who aren't familiar, can you just give us an introduction to your LIC?
Well, the Monash Absolute Investment Company is an equity fund that invests on an absolute basis in Aussie shares, mostly listed. We can invest long, but we can also short sell stocks. We only invest in compelling opportunities. We can gear the fund if it's on need basis, and we can also invest in pre-IPO stocks. We've been managing money now for about 6 years, although the listed investment company has only been floated for the last 2 years. The background of the fund managers was in mainstream long-only relative benchmark institutional investment. I was head of Aussie equities at UBS for 5 years, and prior to that, head of Aussie equities at Colonial First State, where I was for almost 10 years. I'm joined with Shane Fitzgerald, my partner in the business, and he's come from JP Morgan originally, where he was there for almost 15 years, and at UBS also for about 4 years.
Very impressive background. Now to the LIC offering. Just tell us about it, and also tell us why investors should get behind it and add it to their portfolio.
Well, the Monash Absolute Investment Company LIC is very different from the other LICs that are on the market. We have an absolute focus on return, and because of that we have a very flexible mandate. We can invest in a wide array of company types without regard to the index. We can go short, we can go long, and the idea is to develop a return to the investor that's double digit over the medium to longer term while preserving capital over the medium term. Our LIC is an Australian equity hedge fund. It's got an absolute focus, and that compares to most of the ETFs and LICs around that are relative to the stock market, trying to provide long-only returns. They can't short, they can't gear, they can't invest in pre-IPO stocks. We can do all those things.
Great. Now to the buyback and share purchase plan. Just start off with the rationale behind the buyback.
The company's been trading at a discount to NTA over the last 6 months of around about 15 to 17%. We're not happy with that, because it means shareholders that have to sell at quite a discount to what the stock is actually worth. So we turned our minds as to how we could make it easier for them to be able to get liquidity and to get new investors in the fund as well. And we've come up with the idea of a buyback, a share purchase plan and a placement facility.
And can you give us more detail about the buyback?
Well, it's an off-market buyback, and we're buying up to 10% of the company on a pro rata basis for people who apply, and it's at a 5% discount to NTA. So if the NTA is at $1, which is there and thereabouts where it is at the moment, we'd be buying back at somewhere around about 95 cents. That compares to the price today of about 84 cents. The date of record is the 3rd of August. So shareholders or potential shareholders have up until that time to buy the shares, and they can still access the buyback.
Thanks, Simon. Now to the share purchase plan.
Well, the share purchase plan is being brought in so that people can also buy shares at that 5% discount, which is a discount to NTA. Also to allow us to have a liquidity facility to allow larger shareholders to come in through a placement so that they can also buy shares at that 5% NTA. The beauty of this is that we won't be diluting the shareholders overall. At the same time, we won't be shrinking the company to the extent that we can get people to buy the shares at a 5% discount as well.
And Simon, I understand that you're doing them both on an ongoing basis. What's the rationale behind that?
Well, the idea that it's ongoing is very important, because we see buybacks done from time to time and they're one-offs. The share prices respond and then they fall back. What we're doing by having an ongoing facility, every 6 months or so we'll do one of these, is that people know that there will be a liquidity opportunity to buy and to sell. And that means there's a second opportunity, not just doing it on market, but you can do it in one hit every 6 months or so.
And lastly, Simon, what's the key message that you'd like to leave with investors?
Well, there's a great opportunity right now to invest in an Aussie equity hedge fund at a big discount to its NTA. We've got a buyback on, and by the 3rd of August is the record date. If you buy before then you get the opportunity to arbitrage it up to a 5% discount of the NTA price. The ticker code is MA1, and refer to the ASX announcements for the details of the buyback, the share purchase plan and the placement.
Wonderful. Well, Simon Shields, thank you so much for the update and good luck with the initiative.
Thanks, Jessica.